What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats of every one of the weapons in Modern Warfare. In today's episode, we're going to be moving on to the MP7, and first up, as always, let's have a look at the damage profile. So just like with all of the SMGs, the MP7 deals less damage to the limbs, so the arms and the legs, you deal less damage than you would to the torso, so that includes stomach and chest. Our torso damage multiplier is 25, 20, 18, 16, which means it's going to take 4 to 7 shots to kill depending on the range. As for headshots, we get a pretty standard headshot multiplier of 1.59, which means our headshot damage profile is 40, 32, 29, 25, and this means up close you will have to hit multiple headshots in order to reduce the number of shots it takes to kill, whereas at longer ranges, just one single headshot mixed in with body shots will be helping you. As for our rate of fire, this is very fast with the MP7 at 968 rounds per minute, and this means our statistical minimum time to kill, assuming torso shots, is 186 milliseconds in the 4-shot kill range, and then it drops off to 372 milliseconds in the 7-shot kill range. As for our time to kill potential, assuming headshots, up close we can kill in just 124 milliseconds with the MP7 as long as 2 of the shots hit the head and then 1 of them can hit the body. Overall, if you're playing within the effective ranges of the MP7, you have a great time to kill potential. Speaking of ranges, unfortunately this isn't really a big strength for the MP7. As you can see here, our 4-shot kill range is right around 10 meters, which isn't very solid, and this does drop off to its minimum damage range, the 7-shot kill range, at about 20 meters. So when it comes to getting the best out of the MP7, you definitely have to make sure you're playing up close and personal. As for suppressors, the lightweight suppressor will reduce all of our damage ranges by 25%, and the monolithic suppressor will increase all of our ranges by just 7.5%, which is hardly noticeable with this gun. As for hardcore, torso shots will always be a 2-shot kill. You can get a 1-shot headshot up close, and beyond 20 meters, if you're shooting them in the limbs, it can take up to 3 shots to kill, which is a lot for hardcore modes. Moving on to hipfire, as you can see here, the MP7 actually has the best hipfire in the SMG category, but just by a very small amount, it's hardly noticeable. And when it comes to idle sway, you can see that your gun doesn't move around a lot, it just moves around fairly quickly in a very small area, so it's not really that big of an issue for this gun considering it's an SMG. Taking a look at recoil with the MP7, this has great recoil properties. It kicks upwards and just very slightly to the right, and there aren't any really big jumps between shots, and this means this recoil is extremely easy to control and predict, and with just a little bit of recoil control, this gun is laser accurate, even at really long ranges. Moving on to our handling stats, the aim down sight time on the MP7 is amazing at just 200 milliseconds, so snapping on a target is definitely not a problem with this gun, and our sprint out times are standard for SMGs and very fast as well at 133 milliseconds for the standard sprint out time, and the super sprint out time is just 234 milliseconds. Getting into our magazine capacity, this is great at 40 rounds with 80 in reserve, although you do burn through those 40 rounds pretty quickly due to the fast rate of fire. And our reload add time is 1.49 seconds, which is nothing really special, but it's not terrible either. If you wanted to speed this up, you could use the sleight of hand weapon perk, which will reduce your reload add time down to 1.08 seconds, which is very solid. So finally for base stats, our movement speed is very good with the MP7 at 99%. This is pretty much as fast as you're going to move with any gun in the game. And our aimed out sight stray speed is also incredible at 65%. This is very, very good for Modern Warfare. And that pretty much covers it for the base stats of the MP7, and overall this is a very solid SMG. But now I want to get into some of the unique attachments, and first up we're going to have a look at the barrel attachments. And the first one that we have access to is the FSS Strike Barrel, which increases your damage ranges by 20%, which is a nice little boost. And on top of that, we get an increase to our bullet velocity, which will help us hit our targets at longer ranges, especially if they're moving. As for the cons of that, this does reduce your aim down sight time by just 1 frame at 60 FPS, which you can definitely afford to do with the already very fast aim down sight time with this gun. It's about an 8% reduction. This brings us to the next barrel, which is the FSS Recon Barrel, and this one gives you more of a damage range increase. Your ranges are increased by 30% rather than 20%. And on top of that, we once again get increased bullet velocity and more recoil control, which if we have a look at it right here, you can see that it does seem to help a little bit with your recoil control. But overall, I would say this is completely unnecessary on the MP7 since, like I said earlier, this thing is already basically a laser beam as long as you're able to control even simple recoil patterns. But those upsides do come at the cost of an aim down sight time that's going to be about 16% slower, or 2 frames at 60 FPS, and our overall movement speed is also decreased by about 2%. This just leaves us with one more barrel attachment for the MP7, and this is the FSS swap barrel. And with this one, our aim down sight speed is going to be about 8% faster, or 1 frame at 60 FPS, which is a completely unnecessary boost in my opinion. And this does come at the cost of bullet velocity, so your bullet velocity will be a bit slower, which can affect your ability to hit moving targets at longer ranges. Overall, out of the 3 barrels, I really like the first one the most, the FFS strike barrel. It's got a nice boost to your range and your bullet velocity, and the downsides don't really hurt the MP7 too much. But next up, I wanted to have a look at 2 more unique attachments for the MP7, and these are the extended mag attachments. First up, we have the 50 round extended mag attachment, and with this one, it does actually slow your aim down sight time by 1 frame, or roughly 8%, which is not something we normally see. Most of the time with the standard extended mag attachments, even though it says that it reduces your aim down sight speed, it doesn't actually do that in reality at 60 FPS, but with the MP7, it does. Additionally, the 50 round mags will slow your movement speed by about 2%. As for the next one, this is the 60 round magazine, and with this one, once again, it only reduces our aim down sight time by 1 frame, or roughly 8%. But our movement speed is reduced by about 4% rather than the 2% of the 50 round magazines, and this is much more noticeable. You're now taking the movement speed down to pretty much assault rifle levels with this attachment. But that pretty much covers it for all of the important stats of the MP7. Now I want to get into some excellent attachment combinations, as well as some example class setups with those attachment combinations. And first up, this is my current preferred way to run the MP7. With this one, we've got that FSS strike barrel. That's my favorite barrel to run on this gun. We've also got the compensator on there, which helps a little bit with that vertical recoil. It's not really necessary. I just feel like it helps me stay on target a bit better at really long ranges. And this gun definitely can surprise you at just how effective it is at challenging people at extremely long ranges. As for our stock, we've got the Forge Tac Ultralight stock, which helps with our aim down sight strafe speed. It's already really solid in this area. This just makes it even better. Then we've got sleight of hand for our perks, since our base reload speed isn't amazing by any means. And also we have the 50 round magazines on this. Taking this into an example class setup, we've got the Desert Eagle as our secondary, EOD for our first perk, so we can deal with explosive damage much more effectively. Also Kill Chain, this one's designed for going on those longer streaks and getting those lethal streaks up. And Shrapnel combined with Thermite, because I really like taking this class setup into ground war modes, and this is an excellent way to take out enemy tanks. This just leaves us with our tactical, which is going to be the Stim Shot. This is something I've been using more and more, especially on my aggressive class setups, and this is absolutely designed to be an aggressive class. So that's sort of my go-to setup at the moment with the MP7, but let's move on to the next setup I have for you guys here, and with this one, it's designed to be a lot more on the stealthy side. So with this, we've got a lot of the same attachments. We've got that FSS strike barrel, as well as the Forge Tac Ultralight stock, the 50 round magazine, and sleight of hand. All we did here, though, is we swapped the compensator for the monolithic suppressor. This will allow us to stay off the radar a lot more effectively, and taking this into an example class setup, once again, we've got the Desert Eagle for our secondary, EOD for our first perk, Ghost for our second perk so we can stay off the radar, and Tune Up for our tier 3 perk, which allows us to get our Dead Silence field upgrade a lot faster, so we can stay stealthy as much as possible. Our lethal is going to be a frag grenade, because I often find when you're trying to flank with this, sometimes you have to bank a nade into a rune to kill a camper, and also we've got Stim Shot as our tactical once again. So this setup really isn't all that much different than the first class setup, but it's really designed around that stealthy sort of playstyle. And overall, I just really like using the MP7 in this way. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's gun guide on the MP7. Personally, I think this gun is absolutely an upper tier weapon. It is one of my favorite guns to use in the entire game. It's just got a great combination of stats. It's very easy to handle, very easy to control the recoil on. It's got excellent mobility statistics. Doesn't have the greatest time to kill at range, but I feel like it makes up for that with all of the other stats, and the fact that the recoil is so controllable that you're going to be hitting most of your shots anyways, whereas many of the other guns, you're going to be fighting the recoil a lot more at range, and therefore the time to kill discrepancy doesn't matter as much. But of course, that's just my opinion. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of the MP7 in its current state in Modern Warfare? Do you agree with me and think this is an upper tier gun, or do you feel it's not quite as good as I say it is? Just let me know all of those thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, if you guys have missed any of the previous episodes of Gun Guides, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.